Welcome to the Nordic Venture Show, your speed date with the coolest ventures, brightest founders, and exciting things happening in the Nordics. In this episode, our venture date is with Flatpay, affordable and transparent payment solutions.
Let's face it, if you're running a small or medium-sized business, wading through the world of payment processing, well, it can feel like a constant battle, can't it?
Oh, definitely. Against hidden fees, confusing systems.
Yeah, it can really take a chunk out of your profits and, frankly, your sanity. So we've been digging into a company called Flatpay. Their aim seems to be simplifying this whole mess for merchants.
Exactly. And we've looked at, their own info, what they say they offer.
Right.
But maybe more importantly, we've looked at what actual businesses using Flatpay are saying, their experiences.
Good. So the goal for this deep dive is really to give you, the listener, a clear picture of what Flatpay is about.
And, crucially, understand the real-world impact. Is it actually helping businesses like yours?
Think of it as your fast track, maybe, to figuring out if Flatpay's approach is something that could be a real advantage.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so let's jump right in. What makes Flatpay different? What's their core promise on payments?
Well, their main message, it really revolves around transparency.
Yeah.
And cost-effectiveness.
Okay, transparency. How so?
They're promising a totally clear pricing structure. Just one single low flat rate for every card transaction.
Every single card.
That's the promise. The big emphasis is no surprises. So they say they're getting rid of those unpredictable monthly fees.
Ah, yes.
Those at the cost of renting the terminal, all those little hidden charges that just seem to add up.
Right. And you said the single flat rate, it applies across the board, even for like international cards that sometimes sting you with extra fees.
That's a really critical point, yeah. Unlike a lot of older systems where rates vary wildly depending on the card, Flatpay offers just one consistent fee. And they've actually got a special offer right now, an actions price, they call it.
Okay.
You can get a Flatpay card terminal with a transaction fee of just 0.99%.
0.99%. That sounds like it could lead to some actual savings.
You'd think so. It simplifies things massively.
And it's not just about the cost per swipe, is it? It's also about how quickly you actually get your hands on the money.
Absolutely. Their daily settlement feature is another key thing they highlight.
Daily settlement, so faster access to funds.
Exactly. Which, for managing day-to-day cash flow,
Yeah.
that's vital.
No kidding. Okay, so clear costs, faster cash. What about the actual tools, the services? What's their product range look like?
Right. So they offer a few different POS, point-of-sale, and payment solutions.
Okay.
There's a basic POS system and portal. It's kind of an all-in-one deal, card terminal, plus access to their software platform.
Got it.
Then there's a premium POS and portal. Main difference seems to be a bigger screen, 15.6 inches.
Okay, a bit fancier.
And interestingly, they've just launched something new marked NYHED, which is Danish for new, an online payment solution. So specifically for integrating with web shops, if you sell online, they've got something there now too.
That makes sense. Covers physical stores and online. What if a business just needs the payment terminal, though? No big POS system.
Yeah, they do offer payment terminals as a standalone option too, so you've got flexibility there.
Good.
It's also worth noting they mentioned another new service called Capital, also marked NYHED.
Capital? What's that about?
Well, the sources we looked at, they don't actually give much detail. So purely speculating, based on what others offer, it might be something like, small business financing, working capital loans. But we don't know for sure from the materials.
Interesting. Something to keep an eye on, perhaps. So a range of hardware and software options. Now, another huge thing for businesses is keeping up with all the rules, regulations, compliance. How does Flatpay handle that headache?
Yeah, that's crucial. They really emphasize that their digital sales system meets the requirements for companies doing under $10 million in annual revenue.
Okay, that covers a lot of SMEs.
Exactly. And to back that up, they've had the system audited by PwC.
Oh, PwC, that adds some weight, definitely.
It gives a good level of assurance. And they're also looking ahead, like with the upcoming VAT changes in Finland.
Finland VAT. Right, when's that happening?
September 1st, 2024. They're actively offering free consultations to help Finnish businesses figure out the right cash register system to comply.
Proactive, that's good. Because VAT, that consumption tax, changes can be tricky.
For sure. And they're not just focused on the Nordics. I noticed something about Germany, too.
Yes, Germany. They talk about the TSE.
TSE.
Technische Sicherheitseinrichtung. It's basically a technical security device for electronic cash registers.
To prevent tampering with sales data.
Precisely. It's
Yeah.
a big requirement under their Kassenzik v regulations. Flatpay highlights that their TSE solution is cloud-based and certified.
So helping German businesses stay compliant too.
Exactly. It seems like it's not just about taking the payment, it's also helping businesses navigate that complex regulatory stuff.
Which can save a lot of time and stress.
No doubt. Okay, so the system sounds promising on paper, compliance seems covered, but what are actual businesses saying? The merchants using it day to day. Let's get into those testimonials.
All right, this is where it gets really interesting. We see how it actually plays out.
Yeah.
We've got feedback from quite a mix of companies.
Like who?
Well, there's still Copenhagen. That's a flower business, started back in 2021 by Jacob and Mathilde.
Okay, florists.
Then there's Burger Palace in Copenhagen, a real institution apparently.
Huh.
Late night spot, been going for nearly 40 years.
Wow. Founded by Mehmet Alan-Yücel.
That's right. And the current owner, Senkan, he specifically praises Flatpay. Says the payment processing is seamless, the gear is reliable,
Crucial for a busy place.
and the fees are very reasonable. That's a direct quote.
Seamless, reliable, reasonable fees. Can't ask for much more in a late-night burger joint, I guess. What other stories stood out?
Sokol and Cafe had some really positive things to say. Porton from the cafe, he emphasized how Flatpay's system feels modern, it's user-friendly,
Okay.
and it's actually improved the experience for their customers.
How so?
Well, get this. He mentioned a 30% increase in tips.
30% just from the payment system.
He attributes it directly to how easy and intuitive the tipping function is on the Flatpay terminal.
That's actually amazing. A tangible benefit right there.
Yeah. And he had this great quote saying Flatpay reflects that we live in 2022 and not 2002.
Huh. That says a lot, doesn't it? About maybe older, clunkier systems they might have used before.
Exactly. It really highlights the difference he felt. It shows how the payment system isn't just back office stuff. It touches the customer, the staff.
Yeah, the whole experience. Any others?
Well, there's a mention of Sif Jacobs Jewelry, the Danish design brand.
Sure. Respected brand.
Their feedback was a bit broader, but it suggests Flatpay helps them sort of streamline the money side of things, lets them focus more on the design and running the business.
Makes sense. Balancing art and commerce.
Right. And then there are brief mentions of others, Avanique, a beauty clinic, SM Mort, Salon Muccini in Berlin, Trattoria La Bruschetta, also Berlin.
Okay, so a real mix. Beauty, food, retail, across different places too.
Yeah, it shows it's not just one type of business finding it useful.
And that quote from Senkin at Burger Palace really sticks out.
It does. The payment processing is seamless, the equipment works flawlessly, and the fees are very reasonable. Pretty straightforward.
And Morton from Sockland, with that not 2002 line, really hitting that modern, easy-to-use angle. So if we boil all this down, what are the key differentiators, the main advantages that keep popping up for Flatpay?
I'd say the flat rate for all cards is definitely number one. Businesses seem to see that as a huge simplification and a way to make costs predictable, maybe even lower them.
Predictability is huge.
Then there's the 24/7 customer service. That gets mentioned as really valuable support.
Always good to know someone's there if things go wrong.
And of course, the absence of monthly fees. That's a big one for SMEs managing their overhead.
Yeah, getting rid of those fixed recurring charges definitely helps the bottom line.
Absolutely. And don't forget the daily settlements, quicker access to cash, vital for cash flow.
Right, we mentioned that earlier. Crucial.
Plus, they throw in a free payment dashboard with the terminal.
A dashboard, what does that do?
It gives businesses real-time insights, sales trends, transaction history, that kind of data.
Ah, so tools to actually understand performance better, not just process payment.
Exactly. Helping them make smarter decisions.
That's a good added value. And it sounds like they're actually getting quite a bit of traction, seeing significant growth.
Yeah. The numbers they share are pretty impressive. They say they're helping over 10,000 small and medium businesses.
10,000, okay.
And they project some big figures for this year. Over 400 employees. Transaction value expected to top $3 billion.
Wow.
Over 100 million card swipes anticipated, and getting past 18,000 merchants using their services.
Those are serious numbers. Suggests a lot of businesses are buying into this.
It certainly seems that way. It points to a decent level of trust and adoption.
Okay, so for a business owner listening, maybe thinking, this sounds interesting. How easy is it to actually get started with Flatpay? What's the process?
They lay out a pretty clear 3-step onboarding.
Oh.
First, you have a chat, a personalized consultation. with one of their payment experts. They try to understand your specific business needs.
Makes sense. Tailored advice.
Second, based on that, you choose the solution, the payment terminal, maybe the POS system that fits best.
Right.
And third, they actually send someone out for professional on-site installation. They set up all the hardware and software for you.
On-site installation, that's good. Takes away some of the technical hassle of switching.
Yeah, it seems designed to make the transition smoother. And they confirm, of course, that they accept all the major credit and debit cards, plus things like Apple Pay, Google Pay,
Yeah.
the usual mobile wallets.
Good. Covers all the bases. And worth mentioning again, those positive Trustpilot reviews in the sources, that adds another layer of real-world feedback.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Always good to see general customer sentiment.
Now, before we wrap this up, there's a promotion happening right now, isn't there? A summer campaign.
That's right, yeah, their summer campaign. Basically, if you become a Flatpay customer before June 20th, 2024.
Okay, specific dates. May 20th to June 20th, 2024.
Yeah.
You get entered into a draw to win 20,000 Danish krone.
20,000 kroner.
Yeah.
Nice incentive.
Yeah, they do clarify one winner drawn randomly, and the prize is taxable. The winner has to handle the tax side of it.
Standard disclaimer, but good to know. So an extra little nudge if you're already considering them.
Seems like it.
Okay, so let's try and summarize this deep dive into Flatpay. What are the main takeaways listeners should hold on to?
Well, based on everything we looked at, I think the key things are that transparent, simple pricing with the single flat rate. That seems to be the cornerstone.
Right, the core promise.
Then the potential for real cost savings by ditching those various fees, monthly fees, hidden charges.
Mm-hmm.
The fact they offer a range of solutions for both physical shops and online stores. Their focus on helping businesses stay compliant with regulations like VAT or TSE.
Yeah, the practical help.
The positive stories and feedback from actual merchants, talking about reliability, ease of use, even that boost in tips.
That tip story was memorable.
And finally, their commitment to support, like the 247 service and the setup help.
It really does feel like their mission is about taking the pain out of payments for businesses, doesn't it? Simplifying things so owners can focus on growth.
That seems to be the goal, yeah. Making it less of a burden.
So as you're listening, maybe just take a second to think. How could a payment system that's more transparent, more streamlined, impact your business? Or a business you know well?
Yeah, it's a good question to ponder.
In today's world, having those predictable costs, having support you can rely on, well, that can be incredibly valuable, can't it? Definitely food for thought.
Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Music, or your favorite app, and connect with us on LinkedIn for more stories and insights.